Hello and welcome to the news at noon on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Abuja. My name is Oikeke Igado Kure. The headlines this hour. Work resumes nationwide after Easter holidays. Soldiers allegedly beat 27-year-old man to death in Taraba State. On the foreign scene, Israel cancels controversial plan to deport African migrants. And in sports, Nigeria picks 12 wrestlers for 2018 Commonwealth Games in Australia. Details in a moment. Please do stay with us. And now the news in full. And we start the news on a rather sad note. Wife of the chairman, Human Rights Radio Abuja, distinguished Senator Abubakar Sudangi, Salima Sudangi, is dead. Salima Sudangi died on Monday at the Lycemia Turkish Hospital in Abuja. Until her death, she was a staff of the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC. Her death has been described as a big loss to her family and Nigeria as a whole because of her immense contribution to national development. The remains of Salima Sudangi is about to be buried shortly at Gudu Cemetery, Apo, Abuja. The burial is to be attended by family members, friends, and dignitaries from across the country. Work resumes today nationwide after the two-day public holidays declared by federal government to mark 2018 Easter festival. Easter is marked worldwide by Christians faithful, signifying the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The solemn festival represents the triumph of good over evil and life over death. It is also a time to show love, forgiveness, compassion, and renewed hope in Nigeria. During the celebration, many people called on Nigerians to emulate the virtues of love and sacrifice which Jesus Christ exhibited by dying on the cross. With love, they believed Nigeria would surmount its challenges and the wanton killings, clashes, kidnappings, and other vices that have plagued the society today will cease to exist. Nigerians have called on the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration to focus on planning and implementing of policies that could deliver Nigerians from the current poverty and hardship rather than joining issues with the opposition party. They are reacting to the list of looters as published by the APC government.
As far as I'm concerned, this exchange is in keeping with the way politics is. And then it is also good for APC because in so doing, they have successfully diverted the attention of the nation to much more serious issues. There are so many things going on, very ugly things that are likely going to pitch Nigerians against the party. But because the party has now made PDP an issue, that is what is going to happen. And so to me, PDP has actually fallen into the trouble of APC this time around.
To me, it's a funny thing because I just see it as a form of distraction from the APC. If you want to be the best, you need to compete with the best. Pitch your best act against the best person. Give us good governance. Why I expected an APC government that have the people at mind to do will have been to bring us the list of people that have been convicted, that have gone to the court of jurisdiction, that have been convicted. As far as I'm concerned, it's a phantomic list. It's just a list, just to distract Nigerians.
The list is not what Nigerians are looking for now. If Nigerian leadership under Muhammadu Buhari needs the names of looters, the citizen will give him more name than they can do. So the name is a distraction to me now. It's a kind of counter-fight name. It's a kind of demonstration of threat to positions. In a way, it's a mockery of democracy. What we want now is good governance. How can we wipe away the lamentation in the faces of Nigerian citizens who are the reason for governance and leadership? There's a lot to tell about democracy now. All is nowhere. Massive hunger, endemic poverty. Look at the high rate of crime, people committing suicide. We should be talking about looking for a lasting and fundamental solution to our ongoing democratic belief on. Names of people that will not solve the ongoing insecurity state in the north.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said in a report that the list was released because they were challenged to do so. The list comprised names of key players in the last administration and members of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The federal government says it has set up what it described as an in-house committee to investigate an allegation that Cambridge Analytica, a United Kingdom-based data firm, played a negative role in the 2015 election in the country. A member of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, was said to have hired the firm to hack into personal records of the President Muhammadu Buhari during the 2007 and 2015 electioneering campaigns. The committee would, among other things, investigate if the acts of the firm violated the laws of Nigeria or infringed on the rights of other parties and their candidates during the polls. Affirming the move, presidential aide Garba Shehu said it is important for the former ruling party in both Cambridge Analytica and Facebook to clarify their positions on the weighty allegations leveled against them. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has been advised to ensure that the right things are done to achieve a free and fair elections come 2019. Those who spoke with us said the image of Nigeria might be affected worse if the elections are not free and fair.
I think they have made a commitment, and so far, to me, they are not doing badly. They have been doing sensitization, talking to stakeholders. They participated in the attempt to amend the Electoral Act, and from his pronouncements and utterances, they appear to be ready for the election. Though there are so many issues, free and fair election is not necessarily the work of INEC. The major people that can guarantee you free and fair elections are the members of the political class. They are the ones who control the political parties. They are the ones who survive the process. They are the ones who play do or die politics. We must support INEC, but at the same time, we must always hold them to their promises and point out their weaknesses and insist that their faults are fixed promptly.
INEC has never been free and fair. People's political awareness have been reawakened. INEC should know that they are Nigerians. When anything happens to the image of Nigeria, it will affect them. The more you put bad leaders on throne, the more have bad country. INEC should know that they have a fundamental role to play in determining the future of Nigeria democracy. So INEC have to come down to see how they can bring in a strategy that is citizen-friendly. Competency of who work with you. How ethical is that person? How moral is that person? If democracy sink, is INEC. So they should try to put the necessary mechanism, test all apparatus that are not working, chase that evil staff that are not ready to make Nigeria better, so that we can have a credible, citizen-centered election that can usher in generation of new leadership that have value for humanity, the country, and the economy.
We need to be sincere. Sincerity of acts. Are we ready to let people do the right thing? Or are we ready to let these people keep riding us because they want to ride us? It is the sincerity of purpose. The Nigerian populists are now wise. People are collecting their PVC. Nigerians are now politically enlightened. We were not enlightened before. We are more enlightened now because we now know that our votes count. And I hope this APC government will let it count.
As INEC prepares ahead of 2019, issues bordering on underage voting, over bloated numbers of political parties, and election fraud are some of the problems the electoral empire may be battling with. The continuous bombing and killings, especially in the northeast by members of the Boko Haram sect, have put the question of the viability of the fight against terrorism in the country. In view of this, Nigerians urged the federal government to think out of the box in order to curb the activities of the set members.
The man killing don't know why he's killing people. The man dying don't know why he's dying. They are very industrial, very arrogant, but illiteracy is tearing apart. So the people we are killing are not the problem. An illiterate man does not know the interpretation of the constitution. So not even have a copy. So you continue to import and deploy troops to the northern part of the country, you will finish everybody here. At the end of the day, you see empty houses. Their leaders are not sincere to them. Religion leaders are not sincere to them. So there is a need for a kind of primitive and cultural religion reorientation. A platform that you can cut down the whole place, let them barricade them community to community, security. This is a demonstration of illiteracy and a mockery of democracy. And the more we allow this to linger, the economy will be in danger, the country will be in danger. The earlier we tackle it with indigenous ideology or strategy, the better we have a better Nigeria.
The first came and they told us Boko Haram is gone. Yes, good, fine, Boko Haram is gone. But we've seen more killing. You're not even sure of tomorrow going to bed today because you're not sure Fulani herdsmen or wherever Gom herdsmen are not there to attack you tomorrow. We are in a war situation in terms of insecurity in this nation. And this government is not ready to face the challenges. What the government needs to do is face the challenges. Take the bull by the horn and fight this thing and stop politicizing every move. Because as far as I'm concerned, this government is just campaigning, scoring cheap points with people's life. It is wrong.
The Nigerian security architecture must be overhauled. What is happening now largely are proliferation of arms all over the place, and as a result of the downturn in the economy, so many people have given up, and the only viable enterprise now is to take up arms and begin to rob, kidnap for ransom. And for too long, the Nigerian police have been neglected, which is why there are military in at least 32 states in the country doing what ordinarily is police work. So the money that is spent to the military should have been used to equip the police. But then also, the government has to fix the economy. As long as the economy is the way it is, we will continue to have this problem. Because the major cause of insecurity in Nigeria is poverty, misery, and deprivation.
The Easter celebration was marred with attacks, as reports say no fewer than 15 persons were killed and 55 others sustained injuries in a Sunday night attack by Boko Haram insurgents at Bale community in the outskirts of Maiduguri. 5 persons were also killed and 13 others injured in multiple explosions at Muna Zawiya village close to Maiduguri on Friday. Reports say soldiers of Operation Ayin Patuma Cartrace have killed or allegedly beaten a 27-year-old man, Yusufu Haruna, to death at Mbanga in Sadona local government area of the state. Father of the deceased, Haruna Kukal, told journalists in Jalingo on Monday that trouble started when his late son had a misunderstanding with his girlfriend, which resulted in a fight amongst them. According to him, the parents of the girl reported the misunderstanding to the village head of the area, who later reported the issue to the soldiers. Haruna said the matter was reported to the police, who arrested the village head and the girl in question and have since brought them to Jalingo for further interrogation. The deceased father said proper investigation is expected to commence today after the Easter break. We now take a short break. We'll be right back. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. And on the foreign scene, Israel has announced it had reached a deal with the UN Refugee Agency to cancel a controversial plan to deport African migrants and replace it with a new one that will see thousands sent to Western countries. Thousands of migrants will now be resettled in unspecified Western nations under the agreement announced in a statement from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office. Netanyahu in January announced the implementation of a program to remove migrants who entered illegally, giving them a choice between living voluntarily or facing indefinite imprisonment with eventual forced expulsion. The plans had drawn up criticisms from the United Nations Refugee Agency as well as other nations. And in another development, reports say Winnie Mandela, the former wife of South African anti-apartheid fighter and former President Nelson Mandela, is dead. Spokesman Victor Lamini in a statement said she died in a Johannesburg hospital after a long illness. Winnie Mandela, who was married to Nelson Mandela for 38 years, played a key part in the campaign to end white minority rule. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday described the passage of Winnie Mandela as a great loss of an African woman. The president, in a statement by his media aides, Garba Shehu, described Winnie as a woman of uncommon determination, steadfastness, and perseverance, whom he said held aloof the torch of the struggle against discrimination even while her ex-husband Mandela was imprisoned. In sports, the Nigerian Wrestling Federation has picked 12 athletes and 5 officials that will represent the country at the 2018 Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast, Australia. The 2018 Commonwealth Games will start tomorrow to end 15th of April. You're unveiling the wrestlers in Yenagoa by State President of Nigerian Wrestling Federation, Daniel Igale, to journalists that the team is made up of 6 males and 6 females. Igale, who described wrestling as one of the oldest games known to man, assured Nigerians that the wrestlers were ready to win medals in that game. And that's the news this hour, but we'd like to remind you that work has resumed nationwide after the Easter holidays in Nigeria. Soldiers allegedly beat 27-year-old man to death in Taraba State. And the foreign, Israel cancels controversial plan to deport African migrants. And in sports, Nigeria picks 12 wrestlers for 2018 Commonwealth Games in Australia. That's the news on this hour. We also want to remind you that the wife of the chairman, Human Rights Radio Abuja, distinguished Senator Abubakar Sodangi, Salima Sodangi, is dead. Salima died on Monday at the Lysiama Turkish Hospital in Abuja. Until her death, she was a staff of the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC. Her death has been described as a big loss to her family and Nigeria as a whole because of her immense contributions to national development. The remains of Salima Sodangi is about to be buried shortly at Gudu Cemetery, Abuja, Apo. The burial is to be attended by family members, friends, and dignitaries across the country. Thank you for listening. My name is Oikeke Igado Kure.